you're attributing this decline in life expectancy to the government's austerity policies?
Well, I think it's highly likely. The reason is that in my 2010 review, we looked at all the evidence on what was determinative of health inequalities. And we decided we had good evidence for the key drivers of health inequalities. And most of those things have changed for the worse over the last 10 years. And that would be an adequate explanation of the slowing down of life expectancy, the increase in inequalities, and the decline, particularly in women, in the poorest areas in the north and other parts of the country. So the drivers that we identified in 2010 were 6, early child development, education and lifelong learning, employment and working conditions, having at least the minimum income necessary for having a healthy life. The 5th was healthy and sustainable places to live and work. And the 6th was lifestyle, but the inequalities in smoking, diet, exercise, alcohol, and the like. Now, for the first 5 of those, there have been adverse trends over the last 10 years. So we have ample potential explanation for the unfortunate health picture.
Yeah, but the point is the Office of National Statistics tell us that life expectancy among men has risen in that period from 78.4 to 79.25 years, and female life expectancy rose from 82.6 to 82.9 years. And yet you in your report are trying to make out that it's all gloom and doom, and yet even if you break it down by regions, you've got certainly among men, you've got in the West Midlands, South East, London, an increase. You've got a marginal decrease in the North East in the female life expectancy. Again, a decrease in the North East, slight decrease in the South East, but in other regions there's an increase. And that doesn't seem to be reflected in your conclusions.
Oh, yes, indeed. For 100 years, life expectancy increased about 1 year every 4 years for men and women. And now the slowdown is about 1 year every 16 years for men and 1 year every 25 years for women. So I didn't say that it had stopped increasing, but the rate of increase has slowed dramatically.
But that's happened all over Europe, hasn't it?
No.
Well, it has, actually. If you look at the statistics, it has. If you
ask me, look at our report, the slowdown in the UK, there has been a slowdown in most European countries. The slowdown in the UK is the most marked of all European countries for women and third from the bottom for men. So to say, oh, it's happening all over Europe, but it's not happening to anywhere near the same extent. So if you look at the numbers show a marked slowing based on ONS figures. These are not our figures, they're the Office for National Statistics. And the comparison across Europe shows that countries that had a longer life expectancy than us in 2010 have had a more rapid increase than we had. And we are right down near the bottom. So there's no point saying it's not true. It is true.
Yes, but a lot
the data are very clear. We can question the explanations, but don't question facts. The facts are clear, and these are Office for National Statistics.
I'm quoting those same statistics. If you look at the death rate, which I think is probably more important than the absolute number, that rate fell from 1,010 per 100,000 in 2010 to this year it's projected to be 910. That's quite a dramatic fall, isn't it?
The rate, in fact, if you look at so life expectancy is a summation of the age-specific mortality rates. Don't look at overall crude mortality rates. Look at age-specific rates. Now, if you look at what's happened to age-specific rates, yes, for most age groups, they have continued to fall, which is why life expectancy has continued to increase. But the rate of fall of mortality has slowed, and the rate of increase in life expectancy shows a marked change. Look at our report. There's a curve that's continuously upwards And then in 2010-11, the curve flattens markedly. There's no one's disputing those figures. You are, but I don't know, you haven't looked at the numbers.
Well, I have looked. I have looked at the numbers, and I've looked at the numbers for some other European countries, and the same thing happened there.
Disputing those figures. The graphs are very clear. They are from the Office for National Statistics, the latest available data. The slowdown is absolutely clear. The numbers are correct.
Okay.
We can have a discussion about the causes, but I'm sorry, I've had a long day going through all of this, and I'm not going to have an argument with you without the numbers in front of us of what the data shows.
Fair enough. Well, I have got numbers in front of me, but thank you very much indeed.